stage at Pointfest. Our first interview of the day is a gentleman that the first time that we met was in the restroom.
And we wasn't doing drugs.
No, not at all. Jelly Roll,
you got to clear that up in this area. Somebody be like, I wonder what they were doing in the bathroom together.
They're just going to assume that for sure. Even if we say we didn't, they're going to assume that anyway.
Well, I'll tell the story that I was stoned and waiting on a commode that was open. Right. I didn't realize the door was closed, and I thought somebody was there, so I sat there for like 15 minutes with my butt puckered, waiting to use the bathroom just to find out nobody was in there.
While I'm going, you're directed traffic in and out of the bathroom.
I'm telling people, I'm like, oh, you're good that way. That one's open. That one's clogged. Somebody's in that one. I'm waiting too. And it was, that was my morning.
Well, we got to start out. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk about. But first, man, Dead Man Walking goes #1 at Rock Radio. And for you, and in kind of watching your path, you seem genuinely, one, thrilled, but two,
crazy.
It's like still kind of surprised, even after it's already happened.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it was a really surprising. I have to touch on this because this is special to me. It was #1 at Rock Radio for 2 consecutive weeks, which was even crazier. Because I never thought I'd be in the top 10. I don't know if y'all seen it, but I had posted when I went to the top 10. I was like, we made it further than anybody thought we would. Let's go to #5. And I was like, to me, I'd have been cool at like just going back to 12 at that point. I was like, we made it to the top 10. And then we were #1 for 2 weeks. We was in the top 5 for like 8 weeks. We were lucky, though. You know, we were blessed. It was a little rough. My dear friend Shinedown just controlled the chart for like 7 weeks. I mean, you speaking of clogged commodes.
Yeah, well, they have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, you talking about backing a toilet up. I mean, I think they were #1 for 6 weeks, took a week off, and then went back again. I was like, you greedy mothers.
When you have a song, though, like Dead Man Walking that, you do you have an idea like that we've got something here? Or was it just another Jelly song that you felt strong about?
Well, I felt really great about it. I didn't know that I would ever be so accepted in the radio world. So I just wasn't sure because I never changed the nature of the content of the lyrics. My top line has always been very purpose-driven. So I just wasn't sure where it would fit formats. And then as soon as we started playing it for people, rock was like, this is rock. And I was like, I thought so too. But I wasn't like, I didn't trust, I'm not like the greatest judge of that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a football player telling you what he thinks is a good baseball swing. You know what I mean? Right. So I was like, I didn't know. I thought it was a good baseball swing, but I've only thrown a football my whole life. You know what I mean? But it just worked out. And, y'all were the first station to add the record. You were the first station to play the record. And we've been excited about this since then. Well,
the thing, and just to kind of spoil it for everybody else, but we talked about this off air. When Tommy the Boss first played the song for me, he was like, hey, I'm kind of concerned. He's got more of a country background. And I was like, man, when it comes right down to it, it's all about the song. Right. And I just really feel like we're formatting ourselves to death these days. Right. Like, why doesn't good music just be good music? And then we could just play all of that. You know what I mean? I don't understand why I can't play Kendrick Lamar in '95 into Dead Man Walking from Jelly Roll. I feel like there would be a lot of people that would dig that too.
Somebody get this man a pulpit and a stained glass window. That's what we need over here, y'all. Will you spend a couple weeks with us going to different radio stations with that same spiel?
I would love to.
I am telling you, man, because it's how I felt like we're in a place right now where society is becoming so tribal that it's time. We've broken everything down into so many little boxes that at least let music not be that.
Absolutely.
Let's just take a break for a second. We're in a box, dude, now there used to just be, now there's like 30 different ways to be kind of left, kind of right, all the way right, alt left, completely right. We don't need to sub-genreize music any more than it already has been. Let's just let good music be for people, and if it helps people and it makes people feel a certain way, that's what it is. And we inhabit the spirit of rock and roll, man.
I'm telling you, Jelly, if we got more people together at shows for whatever artist, for Jelly Roll, from whomever, I think we're going to have a lot more luck in talking to each other about some of these bigger issues that we all have to face, because I honestly believe that music breaks it down that way. 100%. Like at the end of the day, man, I don't care who you voted for. We're at the Jelly Roll show, and we're going to have a really freaking good time.
Yeah. It never comes up. That's the coolest part, is all that divisive stuff doesn't exist in music. Music is simply here to bring people together. You know what I mean? None of that. First of all, I'm not allowed to vote, right? My voting privileges has been restricted. They were taken from me at a very young age, so I really don't care. You know what I mean? But it's like all these things that have brought us away from each other doesn't exist through the power of music. Everybody is here for particular my kind of music, I tell people this isn't a concert. This is a family reunion of people healing together. That's what this is. You know what I mean? This isn't just it has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's the music. Let the music play, and I could just sit up there Indian style if I was capable of sitting Indian style. And you know what I mean? And the music would do its own thing.
I got to tell you this one thing before I let you go. Right when we first started playing Dead Man Walking, I was kind of looking through some of your socials and looking through things to talk about with you, and I saw like a meet and greet situation where there was this young kid, and I want to say, man, he looked like he was 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that ballpark. Came in with dad, had a pass on, and starts singing one of your songs back to you.
Yep.
And the way that you looked at that kid, you just loved it. Like you were just so wrapped up in the moment that this kid was so into you, and he wasn't afraid of you, you know, because sometimes kids get weird around people they don't know. I just loved that moment so much, and I bet you love those kinds of moments so much, man.
I'm so glad somebody videoed it.
Yes.
Because we normally aren't videoing stuff. You know, we're just kind of, we're always very intentional about being in the moment. And I'm just sitting there singing with this kid. And then when it was later that night, somebody was like, I caught that video. I was like, the kid and me singing together? Because it was like the coolest. He was just so confident, had the coolest little haircut. He walked up like he was seeing an uncle that just got out of prison that he's known. He was just like, somebody's. And I was like, whoa, all right. And then when he kept going, I was like, oh, we're doing this. All right, let's go.
It was just so awesome. And like, you see that kid, it was like, kid, you've already got more swagger than I've ever had in my entire life. You know what I mean?
For sure. Young man, if you keep that confidence, you will be anything you want to be.
Absolutely so. Jelly, it has been an absolute pleasure to get to talk to you today. It's been up and down with the weather and everything, and you've just been so great. Continued success.
Oh, thank you.
It was great to get to hang out with you a little bit today.
This is great. Listen, this weather, this is my life, right? You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. No, it's not. It's going to happen. No, it's not. This has been the story. It's been 37 years of living for me, y'all. This is easy. Everybody else is panicked. I'm like, woohoo, I've lived this life. This is easy.
Yeah, I'm not panicked in the least. Yeah. I'm just enjoying my seat in the backstage area, staying dry.
Well, worst case, we already started drinking, so we'll be okay no matter what happens.
We got a plan. Backstage at Pointfest, Jelly Roll.